Hey, boating. Boating. That's sick. How'd they put your logo on there?
I don't know, witchcraft, I guess. Well, since it's software, I'd imagine software.
Look, every time it turns on, it like rings some guy who's sitting at the computer at Nargis's factory, and then they have to like go in and they see where we touched it, and they go hit it and everything, and it's like connected.
It seems complicated.
All right, Braxton.
Wait. 4 inches is how low I'll live.
Okay.
Okay. Hammer down, baby.
Yeah.
Hold it down until it releases. Well call.
I didn't know you spoke well.
So there's our bin, baby boy. Baby boy.
Send it back.
You want me to turn this off?
No, leave it on. So we have the fuel system set out on the weld table. Basically, the fuel cell that we made, Chris Schmidt welded some tabs so we can bolt it to the front of the buggy as well as the back. So the way the layout is this is going to be a return line if we ever want to do fuel injection. So we'll have a return back to the tank. We have our output at the lowest part of the tank, and this tank will be foam filled later. They sell some foam, for those that don't know, on like summitracing.com, that if your tank was to get penetrated, the foam won't let the gas just gush out, and it keeps the fuel from sloshing. So if you're taking hard turns, that foam, and it doesn't actually make any difference on your fuel level amount. Like if this holds 6 gallons, it's going to hold almost 6 gallons with the foam in it. So this lower 6AN fitting will come out and go into this automotive cleanable fuel filter. It'll go out of this into this Holley. This is I think they call it a Mighty Max. This will do 0 to 4 psi fuel pressure. Basically, it'll leave that fuel pump and go into a fuel pressure regulator by Holley. And this is a 1 through 4 psi pressure regulator. So basically we're going to set it about 2 psi because we just need to get the gas to the bowl. We don't really need to pressurize it. And I put a liquid filled pressure gauge at 0 through 15 psi, and we did all AN lines. The only line we wasn't able to do is out from the fuel pressure regulator to the carb. So we have this 3/8 rubber fuel line. We got to vacuum out this tank from where I've mounted the top plate. So basically in this top plate we have a fuel level sending unit. This will send to our gauge how much fuel is in the tank. And then we have a 6AN rollover valve. Now what this rollover valve does, it has a ball bearing inside, so when you're driving it won't allow the tank to pressurize. It'll vent the fumes right out, and we got a filter mounted up high on the buggy, if you can see that small silver filter, and that'll let the fumes out of the tank and no pressure to build up. But if we was to roll over or if gas splashes on the inside, it has a ball bearing that'll float up and block off the supply. So if we flip the buggy, it's just not going to pour fuel out from there. We also put a little stub. This is a 1.5 inch inlet, and we put our fuel cap on the buggy. So this is a billet aluminum fuel cap from Amazon. We reduced it down to 1.5 inch, and we have a silicone pipe for a 350Z radiator coming that will connect this to the tank once the tank is mounted down below. So our main goal is to vacuum out this fuel tank, and we can get it slapped back on the buggy. We can put our fuel pressure regulator, all the hoses back on, and be ready to put fuel in this thing. Obese boy 32 here. in the mini bike video, the last two-stroke, someone in the nicest way possible, very concerned, talked about my obesity. Morbidly obesity, it ain't regular obesity. I mean, I knew I was fat. I didn't know I was obese or morbidly. He was a nice guy, I think. I hope he is.
He had your best interest at heart.
Yeah, he was worried about my family and whatnot. And I'm like, if God wants to kill me for a cheeseburger, God's gonna kill me for a cheeseburger. I'm trying to not be fat, alright? No more cheese for me, okay? Actually, so yesterday I had a V8 for lunch, a head of broccoli, or like a small bushel of broccoli. Seriously, no breakfast, had coffee in the morning. Then for supper, I ate a tuna sandwich with chips, you know. But that's what I had yesterday, and I'm still a fat cow. Yep. So we've been using this cheap, like anybody has probably seen these if you mess with brake lines. Everybody. These are the cheap boys. You get these at O'Reilly's, Amazon. The worst thing you'll ever do in your entire life. Thing sucks. Okay, I bought one on Amazon for $25. Broke it. Then I went to O'Reilly's and bought this one for $40. And flare, it's so hard to get a good flare.
Wanted to punch a church baby.
Yeah, it eats up. When you clamp it down tight enough so it don't push your tube in, it'll gnaw up the sides of the tube. You know, if you've done it, you know. So Braxton is going to show you this Eastwood. We are not sponsored by Eastwood, but this is the best tool I've ever used in my entire life. So you want to come over here, or you going to long distance it? So it comes with all the dies you need, and Braxton's going to show you how to work it. It's got a little bend in it. Unreal, dude.
How dare you.
Next tool I'm going to buy is the Eastwood brake line straightener tool, but it sucks because it's like $115 for size of brake line. And I found, talking on brake lines, these Harbor Freight brake line benders are better than, I have two different styles in there, and that's the best one. So not all, this thing's like $220, but I'm telling, oh, sorry. Oh, you're gonna poke it out.
Hey, number one rule, you always wait on your camera girl.
Okay.
Number one rule, he told you to come over here earlier.
Exactly.
I'll punch you.
All right, here it is. The simplest process you ever done did see.
No, this thing's
obviously not simple enough. We're showing you with Braxton because even an idiot can do it.
How dare you? I hate you in my sleep.
Some people said, did you make sure you turned that the right way?
Yeah, I tried to.
He doesn't even know what's going
Look
on.
at the flare differences.
Yeah, there's no difference.
There isn't. Flat, tapered.
Oh, maybe there is a
Gosh, I
difference.
hate him.
I hate you too.
You gonna leave a little bit sticking out so you can line it up, or just gonna hang out?
Yeah, right there.
That's a
Jeez.
lot. Okay. What are you gonna do?
It's gonna push it back in, Chuck Frog.
Okay. Don't tighten it down yet.
I just gotta snug it.
Okay.
That's what it said. Stupid.
Braxton.
You gave a lot of directions at one time.
Oh yeah, I forgot to put that thing in there.
See, son, you don't want to listen. You just want to do it and do it and do it. Oh boy. I should have demonstrated it myself.
You should have not been a church dog. Maybe it would work.
And Operation Zero will line everything up. Now he can tighten the boy down.
I can't like this bag yet.
And tighten her down good. Okay, don't snap it off. Operation 1 3/16. 8. Till it stops, yep. And then you just go to operation 2. That's single flare, and this will be the double flare. And that's it. That is insane how quick it is.
Okay.
He'll pull it out and show you. You know, if he'd have followed it a little bit more, not his fault. It would have
How
been
dare you?
pretty, but it's that's dang good. That is a great
That one's
tool.
better than the other one.
So we got the front line on, we got the rear line rebent. I rebent the one that goes to the hydro e-brake because it was massive with that nice bender. The Harbor Freight bender bends really tight 90s. So you can do double 90s and have 180. So the only thing I'm not pumped about is my brake lines cross each other right there, but you know, tired of messing with them, not rebending another one. As of right now, maybe at final assembly, I might rebend another one now that I have a dope flaring tool. But I put these 3/16 soft clamps all through here so that brake line will not move a hair. I haven't done it up front yet. Braxton's trying to stick things in my hiney. What a
Why are you
pervert.
making up stuff?
So you're gonna lie in front of me and Jesus. And then we got this brake line tight 90, and it goes through the front. If you'll look behind the winch, I haven't welded the bolt on that holds this little thing, but it'll be welded somewhere right in there. I'll weld that bolt on, and I'll be able to pull that off if I ever need to. So now, theoretically, we can tighten up, make sure all of our brake lines are tight, and we can bleed our brakes. Then we can start pulling the CVs off the rear to put our boots on finally. And there's like a few little pieces of the A-arm I need to finish, these little braces. So we'll do this, then we'll do that. And you've seen that we did all the fuel line. This is a upper, lower, maybe a lower radiator hose for a 350Z. And then my brother Brandon welded up this Amazon fuel lid, which you guys seen us mount in this video. So it goes to a 350Z. This, I didn't have to cut it or nothing. Right out of the box, that worked perfect. I need to slide it a little bit more on this one so it isn't, but it's not even kink, it's just a little flat in that area, but that's pretty sick. It's completely out of the way. The seat only comes to like right here, so you're completely away from it. We used the overflow hose that came with the 350Z for our catch can. So I'll tighten that all the way up on the engine when I got to pull the blower off to put a bung for my boost gauge. Then I'll be able to use this on the catch can, which is pretty sick. So I was able to use 2 of the 3 hoses that came with the 350Z kit. So that's pretty dope. All the fuel lines are done, but now, like I said, I got to pull the supercharger off. And I'm going to go ahead and port the intake and port the little stainless manifold I made so it flows all good. And then we got to weld out like the hood area you guys see me put on earlier, which looks sick. It really cats me out. So once all this stuff's done, we can take it right down the road, like 5 miles down the road, like 3 miles, is Eastwood Bikes and Rods. They sold me that FMF pipe for the 2-stroke bike. Shout out to Keith at Eastwood Bikes and Rods, and he's going to fill the shocks for free, not really, with nitrogen. And then we'll start tuning on the car and ride it, finally. And we got to bolt our gas pedal down. Put the seat back in. Run one more wire to the back. Zip tie some stuff.
What?
Still coming?
No bubbles.
All right, I don't think the back's going to work like the front because of the e-brake. Okay. So we back purged all the fluid. I always use if I had a vacuum pump or something, it would work good. I use a medicine syringe. We'll just wash it out and get back to the kids. Hold it. A little bit of air, pump it. Oh! Got it! Got it! I'll say that. I mean, a couple thingy boys up there.
Oh my.
Oh! All right guys, thank you so much for watching today's video. Make sure to check out the links in the video's description where you can find every part used on this buggy. Next video, we're gonna finish up the dashboard area, putting all the gauges in, and then we're gonna ride this thing. I'm so pumped. We've actually already rode it, and it's pretty amazing. We do have some tweaks that you'll find out in the next video. We're having a few little problems, but the engine is running amazing, making boost. It is awesome. So make sure to check out those links, and also the build of this 670 is coming out. I'm going to do a full how-to build just like I do on all engines, and you'll get to see everything that went into this 670. So if you want to replicate this build, you'll be able to, because we'll have all the parts linked down below. So check out those links. They do help us continue to do these videos. Huge shout out to Go Power Sports, Performance 670, and Dave's Off-Road. I couldn't have done this build without them. This thing is absolutely awesome, and we're about to start our newest build, which is going to be using a GSX-R 600 engine and another buggy that is two-seater that's going to be using a Harley 883 engine. So stay tuned for that. We're getting all of our stuff ready for those builds, getting parts in and stuff. So in the meantime, we're going to do a few little go-kart things, and then we're going on to building some custom chassis again and making some awesome vehicles. So thank you so much for watching, guys. We love you, and God bless.